You are here today because something inside you guided you to this moment for a reason. There are certain times in life when the heart grows quiet and slowly becomes filled with uncertainty. Yet deep within you, in the calm place where your true feelings live, you have already sensed the answer. This is one of those special moments. What you are about to hear is not just ordinary information or empty promises. It is a meaningful response to the questions you have been silently asking the universe for days, maybe even weeks, during those quiet moments when no one else could hear your thoughts. Today, you are arriving at the point where your deepest emotions begin to meet the reality you have been hoping for. I know you have experienced a connection that feels stronger than logic and difficult to explain with simple words. Before we continue, take 1 second and hit the like button if you feel this message found you at exactly the right time. You may have wondered whether this powerful bond was only your imagination or simply a dream your heart created to make loneliness easier to carry. But today, I want to tell you something with complete certainty. The feelings you have carried, the energy you notice whenever this person comes into your thoughts, and that strange sense that you have known them far longer than this lifetime are not accidents. They are not random thoughts, and they are not stories your mind invented. Stay with me, because what comes next may completely change the way you see everything that has happened between you. This connection has been leaving quiet signs along your path for much longer than you realize. Small moments, unexpected memories, feelings that appeared without warning. Each one has been gently pointing you toward a truth that perhaps you were afraid to accept because you did not want your heart to be broken. Today, those pieces begin to fit together. You are about to understand why this person's feelings may be much deeper than what their actions currently show. Even if they seem distant today, even if their behavior has become quieter, colder, or harder to understand, that does not automatically mean their feelings have disappeared. In many situations, silence carries messages that words cannot express. Don't skip this next part because it explains something most people never notice. When two people share a rare emotional connection, the heart often recognizes it long before the mind can explain it. That is why you are still searching. That is why this message feels familiar. You have been looking for confirmation that reaches beyond ordinary conversations and logical explanations. Sometimes we spend so much energy trying to understand emotions with our minds that we forget the heart speaks in a completely different language. Some experiences are not meant to be solved like puzzles. They are meant to be felt, trusted, and slowly understood over time. If you have recently felt confused, emotionally exhausted, or questioned your own instincts, you are not alone. There may have been nights when you wondered if everything was only wishful thinking. Maybe you even tried convincing yourself to let go because it seemed easier than carrying unanswered questions. Yet every time you attempted to move on, something gently pulled your attention back. That feeling is worth paying attention to. It does not always mean the journey will be easy, but it often means there is more happening beneath the surface than you can currently see. Keep watching because the next insight may explain the silence that has been bothering you. What you are experiencing is not madness. It is not simply anxiety, and it is not always unhealthy attachment as people quickly assume. Sometimes it is the natural stage that comes before two lives begin to understand each other on a much deeper level. Growth often feels uncomfortable before it becomes clear. Real emotional connections can challenge your patience, your confidence, and even your understanding of yourself before they reveal their true purpose. The answers you have been searching for may already exist inside you. Today is simply helping you notice them more clearly than ever before. It is a love that reaches far beyond ordinary attraction and touches the deepest part of who you are. Right now, you are beginning to experience a quiet recognition between two souls that seem connected in a way words cannot fully explain. There is something important life wants you to understand today. The doubts you have been carrying are not proof that this person does not love you. They are echoes of emotional pain that never had the chance to fully heal. When someone enters your life with genuine love, carrying an energy that changes your inner world and a presence that feels strangely familiar, old fears often rise to the surface. Your heart recognizes something meaningful almost immediately, as if it has finally found someone who reflects a hidden part of itself. But your mind, shaped by past disappointments and painful experiences, quickly begins building walls made of fear, uncertainty, and hesitation. That is why you have spent so many nights asking yourself if this connection is real, if the other person truly feels the same, or if your heart is simply holding on to a beautiful dream. If this message speaks to your experience, comment 111 below. And don't leave yet, because the next part may answer the question you have been carrying for much longer than you realize. Even when you decide to step away, protect your heart, ignore your emotions, or convince yourself that it is finally over, something keeps bringing your attention back. The same thoughts return. The same feelings appear again without warning. It is gentle, yet impossible to ignore. This force is not only hope, emotional dependence, or simple stubbornness. It feels much deeper than that. It is the quiet pull of two lives connected in ways that are difficult to explain through logic alone. Many times you have searched for answers. You looked for signs around you. You closed your eyes hoping life would give you a clear response. And although little signs kept appearing, they often seemed too small to fully trust. Stay with me, because this next insight changes everything. You are beginning to understand that every small detail has carried meaning all along. The glance that quickly moved away because it revealed too much. The short message that seemed ordinary but carried hidden emotion. The shift you feel inside whenever this person is close, or even when they simply cross your mind. None of these moments are as small as they first appeared. Real love rarely introduces itself with dramatic speeches or perfect timing. More often, especially in the beginning, it speaks through quiet moments. Sometimes silence expresses more than the words, "I love you," ever could. It reveals itself through thoughtful actions that seem simple on the surface but quietly carry feelings that are not yet ready to be spoken aloud. Type yes in the comments if you want to discover the unmistakable signs that this connection is genuine. Today, there is something else you need to understand. This person's feelings are not as uncertain as you may believe. Much of the uncertainty has been growing inside your own heart, not because you are weak, but because this connection entered your life while you were still learning how to fully trust yourself. Its intensity surprised you. When someone arrives carrying sincere love, they do not come only to be part of your story. They arrive to awaken something sleeping within you. They encourage healing, invite personal growth, and gently challenge everything you once believed about love, trust, and emotional connection. That kind of change can feel uncomfortable, sometimes even frightening. But fear does not always mean love is missing. Very often it means your life is changing in ways you never expected. This person watches you, even from a distance, with kindness they struggle to hide. There is quiet respect in the way they see you, and a softness that naturally appears when the heart has already made its choice without needing to announce it to the world. I know there was a moment, perhaps only recently, when you truly believed this person was gone for good. Their silence made you question everything. Their distance convinced you that whatever existed between you had disappeared forever. But life did not guide you to this moment simply to repeat another painful ending. When two people share a connection that carries deep meaning, temporary silence does not erase what is real. Genuine bonds continue to exist through unanswered messages, difficult seasons, long pauses, and even during the moments when doubt feels stronger than hope. So why does everything still seem confusing if the connection is real? Because true love never enters your life just to leave everything exactly the same. It comes to transform you. It clears away old beliefs, teaches patience when you want immediate answers, strengthens trust when certainty seems impossible, and asks you to believe before every answer becomes visible. The confusion you feel is not always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it is the clearest sign that something inside you is growing. Old fears are slowly losing their power, so that something stronger, calmer, and more genuine can finally take their place. One day, when today's silence becomes tomorrow's understanding, you will look back and realize that every unanswered moment was quietly preparing your heart for the truth you were always meant to discover. When this season of silence finally comes to an end and the distance slowly fades away, you will look back and realize that every uncertain moment was quietly preparing your heart for the kind of love you were always meant to receive. The answer you have been searching for was never hiding somewhere outside of you. It has always been waiting inside, resting in the quiet space between your logical thoughts and your deepest inner knowing. If you are ready to understand this, keep listening with an open heart, because the next few moments may change how you see everything. The reason you feel so confused, even when something inside you already seems to know the truth, comes from one of the oldest inner battles of all. It is the ongoing struggle between the fearful voice of the mind and the peaceful wisdom that lives much deeper within you. That confusion, the emotional ups and downs that sometimes make you question your own feelings, are simply signs that your mind is trying to explain something it cannot fully measure or control. Yet through every doubt, every question, and every sleepless night, something inside you keeps recognizing the same truth. It keeps returning to the same feeling again and again. This experience does not fit into the old ideas about love that you have carried for years. Stay with me, because what comes next may help you understand why your heart refuses to let this connection disappear. The fearful part of your mind was shaped by old disappointments, painful memories, and the natural desire to protect yourself from being hurt again. It follows one simple purpose. It wants to keep you safe. The moment this connection entered your life, that protective part immediately became alert. Why? Because real love asks for something that fear never wants to give. It asks you to open your heart, to become emotionally honest, and to stop hiding behind expectations or control. The protective mind still remembers old wounds, so it quickly whispers that this feels too beautiful to be real. It warns you that if you trust completely, you will only end up hurt again. It tells you to pull away before someone else does. It tells you to protect yourself before your heart breaks one more time. From today forward, begin noticing the difference between these two inner voices. One speaks loudly with fear and urgency. The other speaks softly with quiet confidence. The fearful voice creates pressure. It makes you feel restless. It fills your thoughts with endless questions. It makes you check your phone over and over, hoping for reassurance that everything is still okay. It says if they do not call today, they must not care. If they do not say exactly what you hope to hear, they must be drifting away. That voice always leaves you tired. But don't stop watching now, because understanding this difference could completely change the way you experience love. The quieter voice inside you feels completely different. It does not rush. It does not panic. It feels like a deep sense of peace that remains even while your thoughts become noisy. Even when your mind tells you this person has disappeared forever, something gentle inside your heart continues to whisper that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trusting that quiet feeling is not pretending everything is perfect. It is recognizing that genuine peace often exists beneath temporary confusion. When you experience this calm, you begin realizing that you are not fooling yourself. You are connecting with something honest, meaningful, and deeply real. This inner conflict is also the reason you have questioned whether this connection truly exists. Think about your past for a moment. If you have ever experienced rejection, betrayal, or abandonment, your protective mind naturally expects history to repeat itself. It quietly places old pain onto new experiences. It convinces you that even someone who feels completely different will eventually hurt you in the same way. But the deeper truth is something else entirely. You are not truly questioning their ability to love you. You are questioning whether you can safely receive a love this deep without losing yourself. That is one of the greatest lessons this journey is teaching you. This connection is not only here to bring love into your life, it is here to help you discover a stronger version of yourself that no longer settles for half-hearted affection or constant uncertainty. Every time fear rises and tries to damage this connection, it is actually giving you another chance to heal something that has been waiting inside you for a long time. Fear returning does not mean love is disappearing. It simply means an old wound is asking to be released instead of carried forever. When you panic, fear grows stronger. When you stay calm and understand what is really happening, fear slowly loses its hold over you. This connection begins clearing away emotional weight you no longer need, preparing you to receive something far greater than before. And no matter how many times you convince yourself to walk away, silence your feelings, or force yourself to move on, something inside keeps gently bringing you back. That pull is not a chain trapping you. It feels more like an invisible reminder guiding you towards something unfinished. But one question still remains. If this connection is so deep, why does the other person sometimes seem quiet or distant? The answer often lies in what happens when two people awaken powerful emotions inside each other. This person is not only part of your story, they also reflect the parts of yourself that still need healing. Just as they changed you, your presence has deeply affected them too. Sometimes the distance you experience is not rejection at all. It is their way of handling emotions that suddenly became bigger than they expected. Many people describe this as one person stepping back while the other moves closer. Often, the one who pulls away is not running from love. They are running from feelings they do not yet know how to handle. They worry they are not enough. They fear losing control or making mistakes that could destroy something precious. Their silence is not proof that they do not care. It is often a pause while they sort through emotions they never expected to feel. When you respond by chasing, explaining, or trying to force answers, the distance can grow even more. That is why one of life's most powerful lessons is also one of the hardest to accept. Sometimes the path that brings two hearts closer begins with learning how to let go of fear instead of holding on tighter. Life does not want you to suffer while you wait for answers. Instead, this season is inviting you to return to yourself, rediscover your own strength, and continue healing the parts of you that still need love. The person who steps back can only move closer again when they no longer feel that you depend on them to feel complete. This carries a powerful message. As long as you chase their attention, they may continue creating distance. But the moment you choose yourself, stand confidently in your own light, and begin building a life that fills your heart, the energy slowly begins to shift. When you stop chasing, turn your attention back toward your own journey and start shining for yourself instead of for someone else. Something changes. The pressure fades, the silence feels lighter, the space between you becomes safe instead of heavy, and little by little, an invisible pull begins leading them back in your direction. Stay with me because this next truth is one that many people overlook. This pause is not here to punish you. It is creating room for both of you to grow into stronger versions of yourselves. Sometimes distance is not the end of a story. Sometimes it is simply preparing both hearts for a better chapter than either of you could have written before. This time apart gives each of you the opportunity to heal in ways that could never happen while holding tightly to fear. Old emotional wounds begin to soften. Confusion slowly becomes clarity. What feels like chaos today is quietly being placed into a better order. The purpose of this process is not to create separation forever. It is to make sure that if your paths meet again, The relationship is built on confidence instead of insecurity, on peace instead of fear, and on two people choosing each other freely rather than from emotional need. As you continue focusing on your own healing and personal growth, you gently break the invisible chain of fear that once controlled your emotions. If this message is speaking directly to your heart, share it with someone who may also need this reminder today. By doing that, you send a powerful message to yourself that you trust your path, believe in your own value, and understand that what truly belongs in your life will always find its way to you at the right time. Not through chasing, not through forcing, but through natural alignment. Keep watching because the next insight explains why peace is often more powerful than effort when it comes to love. This is how the endless cycle of one person running while the other keeps chasing finally comes to an end. The person you care about will not move closer because you pushed harder, sent more messages, or tried to convince them. They are much more likely to return when they feel your calm, your confidence, and the new energy that comes from someone who has remembered their own worth. Distance has far less power than fear would have you believe. It cannot destroy a connection that is built on honesty, mutual respect, and genuine care. In many ways, this season is like intense heat shaping strong metal. It feels uncomfortable while it is happening, but it burns away what is weak so something much stronger can remain. Real connections grow through truth, not through control. And no matter how far someone appears to travel in the outside world, meaningful experiences often leave a lasting impression that cannot easily be forgotten. The space between you becomes an invitation to trust yourself, trust the timing of your life, and trust that every lesson has a purpose even when you cannot yet understand it. Don't click away now, because the final part may be exactly what your heart has been waiting to hear. Keep choosing your own healing every single day because while you are growing, the other person may also be facing changes you cannot yet see. Growth often happens quietly. It happens in private moments, during difficult decisions, and through lessons that never appear on the surface. Even if you cannot witness their journey, that does not mean nothing is happening. Both of you may be changing in ways that will only become clear with time. Every challenge, every unanswered question, and every moment of waiting has the potential to prepare both hearts for something healthier than before. So instead of allowing fear to write the ending of your story, allow hope, patience, and personal growth to guide your next steps. Continue becoming the person you were always meant to be. Build your happiness from within. Protect your peace. Celebrate your progress. And remember this whenever doubt returns. What is truly meant to remain in your life does not require endless chasing. It grows stronger through honesty, patience, self-respect, and quiet confidence. Sometimes the greatest step toward the love you hope for is not moving closer to someone else. It is finally coming home to yourself.